What's up?
Oh, it's you. Any... Not to worry, boss. I'm sure killing the boss of one of the families will in no way lead to...
You must enter Caesar's...
over-elaborate mob schemes to take over me. Okay, boss. I'll just wait here, alone, while my heavily armed companion...
Morning.
You're the courier who... Down the hill.
It is a great honor for anyone out... When I was a boy, the Legion I fought in many battles for the Legion. Girls and women were enslaved, and many... We were savages. Caesar has taught us that over-reliance on firearms can only weaken us in the long... Unlike an NCR trooper, the NCR Rangers are the biggest threat. We had the numbers, but not the tactics. We relied too much on veteran legionaries for direction and leadership. It's a tradition in the Praetorians to specialize in unarmed combat. However, our unarmed techniques favor offense over defense. We can charge the enemy and flatten it. The Burned Man was Caesar's advisor and general. On Caesar's orders, the Burned... Caesar has forbidden us from ever speaking. No, Legate Lanius is Caesar's second. He's the best warrior in the Legion. A full Legion. Had the Legate been in command during the battle... Yes, do you... We recently obtained an artillery weapon, but we don't have the... The trader, Dale Barton, salvaged it from a mill... The best marksmen of the NCR are usually... The tribe calling themselves the Boomers is obsessed with such weapons, I've been told.
True to Caesar.
Yes. Do you have...
Don't worry, boss.
I'm looking forward to getting sent across the river.
Caesar has permitted your weapons. Caesar has put a lot of...
True to Caesar.
Do not attempt to flee. Justice will be administered swiftly. And fair.
I do wish you'd come and met with me at the Lucky 38. Quite an honor you spurned, my invite. You would be the... But you still want... That I also regard it a certainty. 2 + 2 equaling 4. But that's not going to... Surely you know that I am Robert Edwin. I oversaw the city's renovation. That's the plan. I need you to manually upload the data from the chip to the facility. There's a complication. While I can... That means I can't deactivate its... My army will do what an army... The same equipment failure that prevents me from... There's a security room near... Stop wasting time. Go upload the data on the platinum chip to us. The Lucky's primary computer.
Sure, Arthur. It was purely thanks to your brilliant leadership, boss.
Hostile target identified. Move along, please.
carried out Caesar's will.
Hello. You must enter Caesar.
Did blowing up that vault serve any purpose?
Our way. True to Kaiser.
I felt the ground shake a while ago. Let's press on, shall we? As I would... You have an interest in his death, too. If he knows... You know where to find him. It's called an autodoc. It can treat broken bones, cuts, puncture. Makes for a powerful gift in a culture... My Praetorians embody the martial ideal. Instead, I invited them to join my guard. The fight is to the death. Lucius has been the head of my guard for 5 years. No invitee has dared to challenge him yet. Linnaeus is the greatest of my battlefield commanders. Once, he was the greatest warrior of the Hydebarks, a tribe of the Arizona. When after several months we found and surrounded the warrior who was not yet Linnaeus went insane with... He killed 15 before they broke. I had him tended to. He was maimed. When he did, I went to his bedside and showed him the helmet I'd had forged. He accepted, on condition that he be allowed. Linnaeus is savage. Savagely loyal too, but only to me. He has no attachment to his men, when another legatus or a his first step is to beat the failed commander to death. It means decimation. The legionaries are lined up in ranks. Every 10th man... It instills a... Yes. This time, my legionaries, there will be no failure this time, no retreat. No... With Linnaeus to drive the legion forward, the damn... It's not going to happen again. And I've heard it's a bad idea to tempt a... Do you want my opinion as a former citizen, or future? As a young man, I was taught to venerate President Tandy of Shady Sands. Did you know her presidency lasted 52 years? Does that sound like a democracy? Because the council didn't dare so things ran smoothly, more or less. Ever since losing its queen, greed runs rampant. The government is corrupt, accepting... The NCR is a loose conglomerate of individuals. It's not built to last. Of course. Until now, every tribe I've conquered has been so... My conquest of the Mojave will be a glorious triumph. Just as my namesake campaigned in Gaul before he crossed the Rubicon. I know he's a coward, hiding behind an army. Some say he's a man, others a... I've analyzed the region's tribe to determine how... Ironically, I was born a profligate. My family lived not far from the Great Boneyard. She found work at their library, cooking and cleaning. Oh yes, raised in that tradition. And I may have taken the torch part more literally. When I was 20, the followers sent me east to Grand Canyon. It was my first... As an anthropologist and linguist, if you think it's worthwhile to make smart people learn how to talk like backward. Anyway, we met up with a Mormon missionary who already knew a bunch of dialects. But before that went too far, the Blackfoot tribe, they were a backward bunch. But the Blackfoot were at war with 7 other tribes. It's one thing to be taken hostage, another to be lashed to a sinking ship. I taught them how to use the guns they already had, how to strip and clean. They looked at me like I was some kind of a sorcerer. So I taught, if there's anything I learned as a follower of the apocalypse, divide et impera. When they refused to surrender, I ordered every man, woman, and child killed. I took one of their envoys to the Ridgers village. This was new for the tribes, you see. They played at war, raiding each other, a little rape, and I showed them total. Kaibobs joined me, and the Fredonians after that. I knew from the start I'd need to. So that's what I did, once my confederation of tribes was large enough. I sent Calhoun, the follower captured with me, back. Joshua Graham, That's right. Decades of warfare, absorbing lesser tribes. My Legion's expansion has never ceased. We have cities of our own, but nothing compared to Vegas. I used Imperial Rome as the model for my Legion. I'd seen what had become of the NCR's attempt. Rome was a highly militarized, but it dedicated it. In Rome, I found a template for a society a society that could prevent mankind from fracturing. It means a nationalist, imperialist, totalitarian, homogenous, long-term stability at all costs. The individual has no, I'll destroy it because it's inevitable that it be destroyed. How do I put this basically enough? It's a philosophical. The fundamental premise is to envision history as a sequence which inherently contains or creates its opposite. But the resolution of the conflict yields something new, a synthesis. The bombs wipe the slate clean. Humans, the NCR has all the problems of the just as with the ancient republic. It is now thesis and antithesis. From a basically nomadic army to a standing It's called an auto-dock. It can treat makes for Good. Don't know what kind of security.
The new slave girls are quite beautiful.
What can I do for you, boss?
Move along.
Congratulations, partner. The boss has sent us me to jump you to the...
These bones are about to give up the ghost, boss.
Die already!
Warning. Room breach detected. Unauthorized personnel in restricted area.
You're doing well to have made it this far. You've come back to kill me this time, I assume. I, Robert Edwin House, am deceased. Please approach a Securitron and take one of the printed obituaries.
Use of force has been authorized. Terminate sense data.
By order of Caesar,
Are you okay?
Never thought I'd go out like this.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the burned mannequin.
I've read Mr. House's obituary. With Mr. House out of the way, I can focus on smooth. First up are the boomers of Nellis Air Force Base. I want you to offer them an alliance with my Legion. My terms are simple, and they can keep their freedom. Even with the boomers settled at the old air base northeast. It may be that no one's traded with them or even spoken. My scouts have seen people moving around the base. They must have extraordinary vision. So no, I can't tell you what to expect. If the boomers will toe the line, I can focus on other preparations. I want you to forge an alliance between Caesar's leaders. They used to be cannibals. I expect that in... Never that... Fuck! Come back later. God damn it, go! A week? Disturb me.
Never thought I'd go out like this.
Yes. And just about every one of them is occupied. This is also only one camp of many.
I warned you! Praetorian.
Another kill to my name. Slaves aren't much of a challenge in the arena.
I've read Mr. Losers don't matter in the history.
The camps are getting crowded.
Yes. Do you have...
These bones are about to give up the ghost, boss.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about it.
The last time we met, I appreciate your concern, but have you been... There were tales once of a cannibal tribe near Vegas. The scouts I occasionally sent west many years ago reported these tales. There are rumors that the White Gloves might... Culture is an odd thing. Sometimes a tribe grows tired of its identity. The tribe becomes its own antithesis. Dialectics tells us that this can't last. You've been resourceful in the past. You'd best step up your performance with it. I want you to destroy the Mojave chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel. It's not a full-strength chapter. Huh? I don't... but just look for the Brotherhood. I'm going to bed.
Never thought I'd go out like this.
Slaves aren't much of a challenge in the arena.
can't believe we're allowed inside the Lucky. I've been doing this for more than-
Hello?
Sure, boss. The old man will crawl around the dirt to keep hidden.
Take position!
Don't worry, boss. With my cataracts, you only sort of look like the devil.
By order of Caesar.
Evening.
I got nothing here.
Slaves aren't much of a challenge in here.
You must enter Caesar.
Has the Brotherhood been destroyed? Even with the worst impulses of mankind. The Brotherhood seems to have formed not long after the Great... Some of the Brotherhood scribes we captured further east didn't even know the name of their founder. They like to pretty up their mission with trappings of chivalry. But it's been 200 years, and they still have the They have no vision. You don't think very... Sure. Their hatred of the NCR would seem to qualify them for use. I'd have to be convinced that present benefit... Take care of the Brotherhood. I said... Very well. This latest victory brings to a... I want you to join me in my tent. All right, let's state the obvious. The headaches started a couple of months ago. They weren't too bad. For the past 2 weeks, my left leg has been dragging. It's stiffer. Lucius says I stare into space, blink a few times, then keep talking like nothing. Congratulations. You just became my... Then gather those items together and hurry back to perform the operation. It's never had a functional dock. It's been said that the autodocks are standard equipment and you can search the vaults. But every some of my scouts did report an abandoned vault near Nellis Air Force Base. Maybe the infestation has been... You know everything you need to...
True to Caesar.
You're back.
By order of Caesar.
I'm looking forward to getting sent across the river.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the Burned Man again. Caesar sleeps, but doesn't awaken. You will answer to me until such a time as Caesar is able to resume. Legate Lanius will take Caesar's place at the head. Hello?
I thank you for saving my life. I trust this payment is adequate compensation. The time for battle will soon be upon us. Legatus Lanius draws nigh. When he arrives, my legion will assault Hoover Dam. In the meantime, the profligates have prepared a welcome gift for... That's what one of my Frumentari has set up. Go to him.
Didn't expect Caesar to send a woman to do... Oh well, at least you're... So you're the big shot that Caesar put in charge of this. Well, let's get down to business. Good. Now Kimball is scheduled to give his speech tomorrow. Get some sleep. Rise and shine. So, prepared already. I like it. Even though you already have a plan, I may have some info. I've been spying in the dam for quite a while now. Suggestions, huh? I'd suggest you play to your strengths. We'll have a few hours before he arrives. Just be careful. You don't want to... I've been able to get some basic information on... The President is scheduled to arrive sometime in the afternoon. It's going to be a short... He's going to arrive, give a speech, and then leave. They're probably afraid I wasn't able to find a final itinerary for his visit. Security is going to be tight. Rangers are... Security is led by a Ranger Grant. He's a pretty rough guy who's seen a lot of... The crowd consists of troopers and a few select civilians who are... Finally, there's the additional security. If I had more time in their computers, I could have accessed the full... I have some disguises for us. I've already got mine. A wealthy Brahmin baron who bribed his way in. As for you, I have a NCR... Well, I have a bomb here that can be put on the vertibird that will detonate at a certain altitude. Here you go. I'll be in the crowd. Do whatever... Here's your disguise. This'll get you past most of the NCR there. Make it quick. Good timing. Looks like his vertibird is... I hope you're up for this.
Only engineers and authorized personnel are allowed upstairs. Please step away. Hey, check your fire! If you're done! Hey! Aha! You like that? You dirty coward! Murderer! What have you done?
There you are. By order of Caesar, all...
Some of the slaves have been spreading spores.
You're slowing down.
You dispatched President Kimball with real skill. My forces are in a position to assault the dam. Are you ready to go to it? Good. Report to Legatus Lanius immediately.
Hey, boss. That surgery reminded me of something. I can't believe I'm about to do this, boss. If I buy it,
Morning. Legatus, a stranger arrives. One who bears the mark.
Finally, Mars has accepted my sacrifices and unleashes me. You are the courier Lord Caesar has spoken of. I am the commander of this army. In the past, the NC... Not this time. When the battle begins, the NCR will fight. Our forces are better equipped to take objectives than hold them. Our opponents follow a strict chain of command, which is both a Find the enemy commander, this General Oliver. Kill him. The word means butcher in Latin. Perhaps after today's battle, I live to serve Caesar's will. They are passable foes. Their leaders have on occasion shown brilliance. Their men take comfort in and rely on killing. Our warriors will wash over them in a tide of blood, severing arms. So yes, it was not intended for war. It's on the far side of the dam, a small...
Gotcha.
Another kill to my name. Over here. You like that? Murderer!
So you must be the courier the reports mentioned. Pass this... This battle is far from over. Once... If that's true, then there's nothing... And go where? According to you, the road west is blocked. And while... Perhaps I do have a secret tunnel out of here, but that... My men and I are soldiers. You're right. Don't expect to hold this place for very long.
Wow, I'm actually still alive. Who would have guessed?
Judging by the lack of blood, I take it the coward Oliver fled. The rest of the dam is fully under our control. A few pit... With their commander gone, the NCR will... The Legion will swell with the number of... Perhaps in time I will be granted the honor. Know that your efforts are appreciated and will not... For now...
And so the courier who had cheated death in the cemetery outside Goodsprings cheated death once again, and the Mojave Wasteland was forever changed. Caesar entered the Strip as though it was his triumph. The Legion pushed the NCR out of New Vegas entirely, driving them back to the Mojave Outpost. The Legion occupied all major locations, enslaving much of the population and peacefully lording over the rest. Under the Legion's banner, civilization, unforgiving as it was, finally came to the Mojave Wasteland. Though the courier herself was just and forthright in her dealings throughout the wasteland, she helped the Legion achieve victory. Caesar honored her with a golden coin, minted in celebration of her contributions and distributed throughout the wasteland.
Tabitha and Rhonda went east, through Caesar's land. Occasionally, tales of their exploits found their way back west, though few believed them. Eventually, the stories concerning the duo were collected and published, and proved to be quite popular with children.
Invigorated by his travels with the courier, Raul once more took up his guns in memory of his lost Rafaela. Soon after, the Mojave was filled with tales of the ghost vaquero who hunts down those who prey on the weak.
Cautious after the boomers' display of power at Hoover Dam, Caesar chose to leave the boomers alone. The boomers remained isolated, but have been seen flying over the Mojave Desert from time to time.
Buried beneath tons of rubble, the Mojave chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel was no more. Those few who were outside the Hidden Valley bunker when it was destroyed settled into new lives, or headed west to find a new chapter to join.
Though she'd seen the writing on the wall, the destruction of the Mojave Brotherhood came far more suddenly than Veronica had expected. The news devastated her. Despite her best efforts to leave her past behind, she found herself compelled to make one final journey to Hidden Valley. There, she paid her last respects to the only family she had ever known.
Their leaders destroyed by the courier, the fiends scattered throughout the wasteland. Without the organization of Motor Runner, Cook, Violet, and driver Nephi, they were easy prey.
After the Legion's victory, Caesar, out of a strange respect for his old fellows, allowed the followers safe passage out of the wasteland. Reluctantly, the followers accepted the offer and abandoned Old Mormon Fort to the Legion.
The Legion, preoccupied with its acquisition of New Vegas, scarcely took notice of the town of Goodsprings. Many locals moved on, fearful of Caesar's long shadow. Only the old and the stubborn remained.
In the years following the destruction of Cassidy caravans, NCR used evidence of the plot to blackmail the Crimson Caravan and the Van Graffs. NCR enacted strict trade laws with little resistance, strengthening their supply lines and their position in the Mojave. Both the Van Graffs and Alice McLafferty were removed from their post in the east. During their trek west, however, their caravan was wiped out by raiders using advanced weaponry and military tactics. No cargo was taken. When questioned, the gunrunners denied any involvement, claiming they would have no public motivation for such an attack. Cass lived to see the mark of the Legion on Hoover Dam. Uncertain of what lay next for the West, she remained silent. As the Legion marched west, she found it difficult to see the dam as anything more than a gravestone for the Mojave, and everyone in it.
For supporting the NCR, the Great Khans were ruthlessly hunted down by the victorious Legion. Caesar destroyed all evidence of their existence at Red Rock Canyon, and forbade mention of their name in any history. The Great Khan's legacy was swiftly forgotten.
Thanks to the courier and Lily, a cure for the Nightkin's schizophrenia was found shortly after Dr. Henry's experiment concluded. Nightkin and other super mutants in the wasteland flocked to Jacobstown, and the town became known as a haven where a mutant could find peace.
Encouraged by the courier to take her medication regularly, Lily's mind eventually attained a semblance of clarity. Her memories dulled by the pills, she cast aside the recording of her grandchildren, no longer remembering its significance.
After their victory at Hoover Dam, the Legion quickly set about destroying all remaining resistance, including any groups with ties to the NCR. Upon discovering the King's newfound relationship with the NCR, Legionnaires flooded the streets of Freeside, and the Kings were quickly destroyed.
After Ray's brain was transplanted into Rex's cybernetic body, it took Rex some time to adjust to the old scrapyard dog's memories. Eventually, Rex's mind settled peacefully, melding his own memories with that of long travels with Old Lady Gibson.
Though Camp Golf fell to Caesar, the Misfits distinguished themselves during the Legion's attack. Mags and her soldiers were posthumously recognized for their valor by NCR.
During the Legion's attack on Novak, Bright followers returning from their long pilgrimage assisted in its evacuation. Though Novak eventually fell to the Legion, many citizens of Novak were able to escape, alive and intact.
Boone refused to take the Legion's victory lying down. Heading to the hills with his rifle, he began a deadly campaign against high-ranking Legion officers. And though the price on his head rose to levels unheard of, few pursued it, fearing it would be the last thing they'd never see.
After Hoover Dam, the leaderless powder gangers at the correctional facility vanished into the wastes, leaving the prison empty. The correctional facility became another abandoned ruin in the wasteland, its carcass occasionally picked over by enterprising prospectors.
After the Vault 19 powder gang surrendered to the NCR, they were reincorporated into the correctional system. The NCR did increase their sentences, and they aren't about to take off time for good behavior.
Hot-headed to the end, Sheriff Myers chooses to oppose Caesar's takeover of Primm with a standoff. Though the citizens take out a few legionaries, the town quickly falls to Caesar, its citizens utterly wiped out.
With Caesar's victory came a small measure of vindication for the Rangers' late Chief Hanlon. Upon the military's return, debate raged within NCR's Senate about who was to blame for the loss of Hoover Dam. Though some in NCR regarded Hanlon as a traitor, many believed he was the only military commander who saw the futility in defending New Vegas.
And so the Courier's Road came to an end, for now. In the new world of the Mojave Wasteland, fighting continued, blood was spilled, and many lived and died just as they had in the old world. Because war never changes.
Just to be clear, we're not...
first recons at Camp Forlorn Hope. Now we got a chance to hold it. You signed a treaty with the Great Khans. Guess you could never have too many low-life chem dealers on your side.
Morning. Yes. Did you have enough? I don't have time to discuss all the different... If you wander around the wasteland, you'll find all sorts of tribes, villages, and such where the NCR gives its citizens a shot at something more. It's not perfect, but it's worth protecting, which... I joined up at a young age. I was barely 16 when I left home and volunteered. Got a few strange looks at first, but those stopped when I got top marks across... A few years went by. My squad helped take down gangs of rape. Everyone was very supportive. I received... I do, sometimes. There are days I'd give anything. But here I am, stuck in the same stale off, but enough. It's a position of some strategic importance to the NCR. It's moderately defensible, with a single point of entry on the east side. To get to the Legions tried to cross the water on a few occasions. They're organized, I'll give them that. A few times I've heard they don't allow women in their military, considering them. Their men, however, are typically quite lost. Recent engagements have taught us to fear their shock attacks. I've never once seen a single one of them back. They'll happily charge a fortified position with little more than a Yes, extremely so. They must use Their soldiers can run near half again as fast as my best men, and Their superior physicality makes them extremely dangerous but they've all been instructed to take them down at range if possible. Their standard kit seems to be a blade of some sort and light armor. Guns are not... While they prefer to use their blades, it's common for them... The men have been told to toss their weapons over the side of the dam if they... I command the garrison here at the dam, yes, but... Of course... Yes. Did you have enough? Excellent. You've done very well indeed. And if it should turn out we need their land later, well... In the meantime, we've had some disturbing reports recently concerning the Omega. Our intelligence has discovered that high-ranking members of... We haven't been able to determine whom they... I need you to uncover what they're... Excellent. You'd think living in the lap of luxury and power would be But we have other problems. While investigating the Omertas, what... Evidence suggests that Mr. House is planning to make... While we don't know what his exact plans are, my orders are to take no risks. Perhaps, but that's not my problem. Vegas is a nice place for the... We've had reported site... Also, given a recent analysis of the site, he wouldn't show his hand like that if he weren't prepared to move. And which is why... To name a few things off the top of my head, expand his borders, get the NCR... Good, then you have your orders.